Hey guys, it's me, Yaya Diamond. I am so very excited to be here today to bring you another interview. So I'm doing something a little bit new. My interviewer is calling in. And so I'm going to be doing the video while they're going to be talking. So we're going to be watching and listening all at the same time. Plus, I do have their book. It is on Amazon. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. And I also want to thank the author that is actually calling in today, and that was scheduled to call in, that she is here. I am so very excited to have her. The book is called Little Bobby Can Skate, and it's by Willa. Now, help me with the last name, please, because I'm going to torture it. I'm so sorry.
Brogdon.
There you go. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
I hate messing people's names up. I really do.
Yep.
And oh, it's just so bad. It's just so bad. But
Yes.
thank you so much for calling in today.
You're welcome.
Awesome. So tell me about yourself. How did you get started writing, and did you know you were going to be doing this?
Well, not exactly. I mean, I used to live in Washington, D.C. at a home down there, and I used to model myself. I used to work for Barone modeling agencies, and my 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 sponsor was telling me, "Well, Willa, go for Miss America." I know I couldn't do that because I had a family to take care of,
Mm-hmm.
and I got my degree for acting at Howard University. I even did a musical play, and we won an award at in Virginia, uh, Arlington, Virginia. Went there, but my journey I started as a nurse, and let me tell you that I like all kinds of people, no matter what color they are or whatever they are,
Right.
because see, I'm mixed myself. But anyway, um, so I did nursing. I worked for adult people, geriatric care. I did babies, children with different agencies and hospitals. I worked at PG County Hospital and a clinic in PG County. And I worked, then at the end, I worked with a lot of kids. I
Mm-hmm.
worked with kids through the agency, like babies and toddlers and stuff like that. And even worked for, like, when the parents would have the kids taken away from
Oh.
0 to 10. So I worked with a lot of kids. So I sort of fell in love with kids, even though I had my son. He was 5 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and my son was pretty smart. You know, when I would take him for auditions, he passed every audition he went to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when the other uh when they were telling other people, bring your child back next year because they couldn't talk to the camera. Ashton could do everything. He got accepted with Biz with the Kids. That was the agency in Annapolis. So
Mm-hmm.
I would take him there. He got accepted with Disney, but I didn't have the money to take him there when they wanted him. He got accepted with Casablanca. I didn't have the money to take him there when they wanted. I just let him do it modeling around in Maryland or Washington D.C. So so I figured that since I had him always running him this way, this place, that place, taking him to different modeling agents, taking him to different modeling jobs and stuff like that. So I figured that uh, I was going to teach him how to skate. He said he wanted to learn how to skate.
Oh.
So okay. So Ashton is 5 years old. So I'm teaching him how to skate. He's falling and tumbling and falling down and this and that. So I said I went in the house it started to rain. It was like a sun shower. You know how you have the sun shower in the summertime, maybe middle of August, how it rained and then it stopped. So when I went in the house to get his raincoat, I told him, I said, Ashton, sit in front of the fence because something I said to myself, because when I come back, he better bust his head open because then I'll have to go and take him to the hospital.
Oh no.
So I was in the house maybe 5 or 10 minutes, but there's other parents out with their kids playing.
Mm-hmm.
So when I came back, that boy was skating up and down the street like a pro. I could still see it in my mind. I just couldn't believe it.
Wow.
Here he falling, tumbling with the more. So he didn't need me, but the thing is, I couldn't believe that he's going up, and I'm watching him go up and down the street, and I was like, "What happened?" You
Oh
know.
wow.
How did he do that? And I can still see this in my mind. And how I got to write the book about him is that when I was with Page Publishing, when we moved to Delaware, so I had another book that I written. This book is for like kids from 7 to 13.
Mm-hmm.
So Ashton, when he started going to school, he will, Mom, can I use the book for book report? So I did. So I lost the book.
Mm.
So one day he was in the basement. Mom, guess what? I found your book. So he found it. So I called Page Publishing. And then they start to call me every 5 minutes because I wanted to update the book before I give it to them. So they call.
Mm-hmm.
And so they lost that book too. And so Bruce was the guy who I was dealing with. So Bruce said, "Well, Miss Brogdon, we like both of your books." And I said, "Well, Bruce, thank you for liking my book." So he said, I didn't choose your book. The review board chose your book." So
That's good.
then, yeah. So then afterwards, he told me. He said, and but I didn't tell him. I think I told him I written in 2 weeks, but I really written in 2 days. So I said, "Mom, you shouldn't say that you written it in 2 days. I mean 2 weeks, you know." But I written it in a day. But I just put 2 weeks, like I did some work to it, which I didn't. But anyway, so, and I liked the book because, I put diversity kids in it because I'm mixed myself. My father is Irish and British. My mother is mixed with Asian, Philippines, Mexican, and Cherokee Indian.
Mm-hmm.
So, and when I written the book, I had to, but asking, he's fair skinned. His father is half white and this and that. So we all mixed up with everything,
Yeah.
So I had to show pictures of me and Ashton, how they got our color and stuff like that for the characters, like Ashton as a little boy, and me. So I had to show them pictures of both of us.
Right.
So they could get our face right or color right and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's how I got started writing Little Bobby Can Skate.
That is so cool. That is so cool though. I love that. I love the way that came out from a real circumstance. Isn't it amazing that once the children get like that motivation from their parent to go for something, they're gone. Like you're no longer needed. It's like I got
I
this from
know,
here.
and that's the part of the story that he didn't need me from the beginning.
He didn't.
But
He just needed the motivation from his mama.
Right. But I tell you the truth, Diamond, that I still have that vision in my mind, and it won't go away.
Mm.
And I can still see him now as I come outside with his coat. I'm just amazed. How did he do that? Are you skating up and down the street when you needed me and you was falling and carrying on? I'm holding your hand and this and that. I sort of want to take a break anyway to go in the house.
Hey, wow, wow.
But that's how.
Go ahead. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
that's how it was. And he was only 5 years old, and he was real smart and active.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted Ashton to stay in that field. But when he started getting bigger, we were still going to auditions and stuff like that. But when he started like getting 12 or 13, he wanted to go out and play with his friends.
Oh yeah.
So we had an audition go to Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
So he wanted to go play with his friends. And then I said, well, sometimes it was like he had to want to do it himself. It's like I was almost making him do it. I guess that's the way I felt.
Right.
So when we didn't go to the audition, he played with his friends, and he said the next day, "Mom, do you think that we can have another audition?" I say, "No, Ashton, I don't think you want to do it." I think that maybe he was tired. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know how kids are.
I do.
1 minute they're doing something good, now it's something else, and
yeah.
I just stopped it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you. How important is it for a parent like us, like we're parents, right? And also grandparents, to actually set that, I guess that level of example or support in books, in being there and being present. How important is that to our society that's coming up and our children that's coming up today?
I think it's very important for a parent to pay attention to their child. I always paid attention to Ashton. I mean, I was a nurse. His father was the FBI detective in Washington, D.C. And I always kept up with Ashton.
Mhm.
If Ashton left school, but he was so crazy when he left school, he'll call me, Mom, there's so and such a house. He had different types of friends. He bought one boy with a $500 house, $500,000 home. Then he went to, I would say, like the projects or whatever. He had all kinds of friends, and they really liked it, Ashton. And sometimes when me and Ashton were going to the grocery store, the boys say, "Hey, Spectacular's in here." They say he looked like little pretty,
Yeah.
little pretty Ricky, you know. They say, "Hey, Spectacular's in here." He could go with them boys where these boys are fighting and carrying on. When he go to school with them, he could go into every neighborhood,
Mhm.
and they wouldn't bother him. But
Mhm.
in school, they would bother the kids in school,
Mm.
you know. So
Wow.
it's important to keep it with the kids because I always kept it with Ashton. Ashton really never had to take a bus or a train in Washington D.C. I always took him and picked him up when I got off from work, took him where he had to go. I even take him to school before I went.
Right.
And you know, a lot of parents didn't care about their kids like that.
Mm.
A lot of parents don't care about their kids. Some kids will, when I go pick up Ashton, Mom, could you take me home? This and that, and then I take them home. These boys in these living in these big houses, $500,000 homes, 2 or 3 cars parked on the outside, and they don't really care about their child.
Wow.
So it's very important for our parents to care about their kids.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. What have you accomplished by writing this book? I mean, as far as like a parent is concerned, do you recommend that other parents write books about their experiences with their children as well, maybe to commemorate or even teach other parents?
I do, I do, and this way, if they did, but I think the parents would have to be dedicated to do it to their child, like I was to my son, because you find a lot of parents don't. I wouldn't say they don't care about their kids, but they don't put the interest to make sure that kids will come home safely and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I always make sure that I picked up Ashton. I knew who he was at. Like I say, he'll call and tell me who he was at, so I know where to get him. And I think that maybe you do have some good parents that could do that, and they could write things about their kids. You know, while they growing up, because your memories don't stay too long because they grow too fast. You know,
Yeah,
I
they
think it's a
do.
great idea. I
They
do.
do. Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh my gosh, kids grow up so fast. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, but
You
I
know?
have
Oh,
also, I got another book, Jay and the Boys, with my company, but I have to illustrate myself. They want to illustrate it, and after that, I have another book written that I'm going to give to them. Where's my mommy? Because I always pay attention to this 5-year-old girl. She would, and this is what this book's going to be about. She's 5 years old, so it's a friend of mine.
mhm.
So I'm in her house, and so she comes to me. She said, my nickname is Ann. She said, Ann, where's my mommy? I said, go look in the kitchen. She's in there. She come back and say, you not in the kitchen? I said, go look in the bathroom. She come back, she not in the bathroom. I said, well, go upstairs and look in the in the bedroom. So, okay, when she go upstairs, she's in the bedroom. There's her mom, and she get in the bed with her and go to sleep. So then, end of my story is like, okay, I'm her aunt.
Mhm.
So, and almost like when I write these books, it almost take part of New York too, because I grew up in New York.
Mhm.
So at the end, I'm saying I just walked out the door and said I'm going up the street to get a cup of coffee. She's safe. She's this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's almost like you hear singers say that things are in your head. Like when I started writing, I just pick up the pen and start writing, maybe for 20 minutes, and then I'll put it down. The next half an hour or next 2 hours, I'll go do it again. It just comes in almost like when I hear the people saying like they do records,
Mhm.
how that come in my mind like that.
Yeah. Wow.
It's like something take over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yes, I do know what you're saying. Definitely. Wow. Wow. And I have one more question. And it's one of those questions that a lot of people maybe have never thought about answering before. But
Hmm.
really realistically speaking, it's like, okay, so you wrote this book, you're getting everything out of this book, you're doing what you need to do in this book, and you got it, you did it. It's a commemoration to a memory or something that you really wanted to do. But after that is done, have you ever thought maybe I should go back after it's published and rewrite the whole thing? Like, I don't like it, like it's just not what I wanted. Or is this something that you can say, I definitely am done, I'm done, I can live with this?
Yeah, well, I could go back to his book and write some more parts to it, you
Mhm.
know, because I'm always. I think that as now I'm always going to continue when I really retire for good. If I really retire, I'm just going to do children books
Oh.
because I already have one at the Page Publishing. I have another as a backup, so
Mhm.
I'm always going to go and do that.
That's
And I
nice.
could continue his book too. I could continue.
Yeah. So would
Hmm.
would that be like a sequel?
Yeah,
Okay, gotcha. I gotcha. So you're not really going back to the original book. You're more like adding on to the book.
yeah, I can add on to his book.
Okay,
I
gotcha,
could.
gotcha. That
Hmm.
is wonderful though. I mean, there's just so many different memories. What would you say if your son wanted to write a book? How would you do that? I mean, what would it be like for you?
I can give him some few pointers on how to do it. If that's what he wants to do.
Awesome.
Because at first, I didn't even think I could write a book. At
Mhm.
first, I was thinking about taking classes at a college to learn how to write a book because it's been in my mind for a long time.
Mhm.
But one day, you know, after I'd written my other book that I had sent to Pace Publishing, and after with the book of my son, I didn't really need because I knew how to do it then.
Right. That
After
is so
writing,
cool.
because this was not my first book. This was my second book.
Right. Wow. Well, I thank you so much, Willa, for being on the show. It's just such a pleasure to have you here. What kind of advice do you give to those people out there that haven't published their books yet, or even want to write a book, but they maybe don't have the courage or don't understand?
I think that they need to, if they wanted to really write one, they just need to maybe talk to people who've written books or maybe take a class on how to write one. You know, that's my thing about it because that's what I was going to do, but I found how to do it on my own.
Hmm.
It's just like I told you, things would just come to me and give me tips. And when I was writing it, even though at this time when I written, I was in uh, Delaware, but
Hmm.
it started from Washington D.C. and some of my thinking was also when I was coming up as in New York. So
Hmm.
it was just like that. But yeah,
Wow.
I think that it would be a great thing if people do that. If
Wow.
they get it started, a lot of people come to me and ask me, "How did you do it? Would you show me?" I said, "Sure, I'll show you. I'll show you how to start it off, and then you can go for yourself."
Awesome. That is great. What kind of feeling do you get? And I know that I just said that was the last question. It's not actually, but what kind of feeling do you get when you do help other people write their books? What does that do for you?
I have a great feeling when I do that. Like I said, by doing nursing and stuff, I ran into all different kinds of people, rich people, poor people, and I worked at nursing homes and all this kind of stuff. And I was always have been kind to my patients and stuff. And then when I worked at nursing homes, and they would always say, "God must have sent you. You're an angel."
Yeah.
That's what they would tell me. "You're an angel." You know, God must have sent you to me. I mean, I have got a lot of response like that during my traveling through my journey doing nursing.
That is wonderful. Well, wow. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. The name of the book, as you can see on the screen, is going to be Little Bobby Can Skate. And I guess it's from a true story. So it's like a true story for kids. There you go. It really did happen. And Willa is like the person that wrote it, which is just amazing. I absolutely love this. I love that you've taken a real life example and have given children and parents the courage to go after the things that they really want to go after and to tackle those things that sometimes we start, but we don't really like, get to be a part of the whole thing sometimes. And it's
Yeah,
it's okay.
and also my book has gone international. They sell it in
What?
Australia. Yeah,
Oh
United
my gosh.
Kingdom. Yeah, and I asked my publisher. I said, "Well, why is my book over there?" She goes, "Say because it's international."
Oh, that is so good. That is so good. Well, congratulations on everything. Congratulations on the success, the international book. Okay. Little Bobby Can Skate. You guys can get that. I'm going to have the link in the description box below on the side. But if you can't get it for some other reason, you're watching on television, you may be watching in DeKalb or wherever you may be watching. I want you to go ahead and go to the book section of Amazon.com and just go ahead and put in Little Bobby Can Skate and you will find it. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. And Willa, thank you again so much for joining us today.
You're welcome.
All right, guys.
Thank you, Diamond.
No problem. Until next time, guys, don't forget to dare to be different. But most of all, don't forget you can and just go after it. Just like she said. Willa
Yes.
is amazing. She just said
Go
it.
for
So
your dreams. Go
just
for
go
your
for it.
dreams.
That's right. All right, guys. Bye.
Don't forget to follow us on YouTube and Instagram. Thank you for watching.